These bomb shelters are designed to protect against radiation and natural disasters, and they're now being mass-produced in Russia, the country's Emergency Ministry Research Institute has said. The announcement coming as US President Joe Biden's administration agreed to allow Ukraine to fire American long-range missiles deep into Russia, though the Research Institute did not link the production increase to any current crisis. The Cub-M shelter is said to defend against a variety of threats, including shrapnel, debris, and fires. It can even be deployed in Russia's vast northern permafrost, according to the State Institute. A standard unit can hold 54 people, but additional modules can be added. The war in Ukraine is entering what some officials say could be its final, most dangerous phase. Moscow's forces are advancing at their fastest pace since the early weeks of the conflict in 2022, while the West is seeking to shore up Ukraine. On Tuesday, Russian President Vladimir Putin issued a warning to the US, lowering the threshold for a nuclear strike. On Monday, the Kremlin called Washington's long-range missile decision reckless and said it would respond.
As much as I have expected for the Democrats to do all sorts of things after Trump was elected, I get an eerie feeling that they are plotting, they are trying to thwart his or stunt his agenda. And we see it now with the way that the Biden has approved these long-term, long-range U.S. weapons by Ukraine to target locations in Russia. Why would they do this in the midst of the end of the presidency when they know this was kind of a red line that Putin set?
Well, because exactly that reason. He's a lame duck. You know, the things that's going to happen between now and January 20 are going to be kind of frightening, right? Mm-hmm. The good news is that we've already lined up appropriate people to deal with this. And Putin and Trump have been talking, and he's been talking to all of the parties. The reason why maybe 8 or 10 shows ago, I painted that picture of why it was so important to vote for Trump. Because I don't want to see anybody's son or daughter flown back to Delaware in that silver casket with an American flag draped over it because of something that's happening in another part of the world. I'm not an isolationist by any stretch of the imagination. I know that the United States has allies and we need to protect those allies. However, this is 2024. There's no reason for us to put boots on the ground. But this move by Biden is definitely crossing that line with Putin. You know, in my estimation, we have given the Ukraine too much money, way too much money. At some point, you have to defend yourself. At some point, as a nation, you have to defend yourself. You can't expect the American people's goodwill to fight your war, to lose our youth, come in and rebuild your country, restart your economy. You're asking for a lot when you were a marginal ally with us at best. Mm-hmm. So we have to take a hard look at this. January 20 is going to come, and KJ, all the things that you're feeling intuitively are going to happen. They are preparing to attack us back, meaning the Democrats. They are preparing how they can interfere with getting Trump's nominees not cleared, right? Mm-hmm. So they're doing all of that. We've already heard about, Matt Gaetz and all these, underage parties, and they don't like Pete Hegseth, and they don't like this person and that person. But you know what? The American people like Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. Flat out. If you were watching football on Saturday and Sunday, you saw more people doing that Trump dance. America has this new energy, this new inspiration. We're just waiting for them to stop crying long enough to catch up.
Well, I think that it's in the interest of the country to have more than one viable political party. Okay. Mm-hmm. But at this point, the Democrats are going the way of the Whigs. And let them. Okay. They know that not only did he have a mandate strictly from the standpoint of the Electoral College win and the popular vote win, but also his coattails that swept in the House and the Senate. Okay. And if you look around the country, a lot of local races may not have switched party, but they did become more conservative. London Breed got kicked out in San Francisco. Pamela Price was recalled in Oakland. All right. So there's been a shift here. They don't want to recognize it. Fine. Let them go into the dustbin of history. These people are insufferable children. They're not serious. You've got Debbie Wasserman Schultz out there calling Tulsi Gabbard, a woman who is an officer in the U.S. Army, served this country as a combat medic in combat, okay? Former congresswoman, calling this woman a Russian asset. These people are filth, and the Democrat Party is in its death throes.
They're doubling down. Some of them are doubling down on it. And the truth be told, I hope they continue to double down.
Yep.
Because what's going to happen is we're going to get more than 4 years of Republican rule. We'll probably end up with 12 or 18 years. And I'll take that. We'll straighten out the country. We'll roll back these stupid EV mandates, including here in Maryland. We'll roll those mandates back, and life will be good for us. Listen, folks, if you don't want to spend $50,000 on an electric vehicle that may or may not start in the wintertime, that you have to plug up and sit there and wait for an hour before you can drive, hit the like button. We're over these folks. We're over these mandates. We're over all of this crying and lamenting and gnashing of teeth. Get your lives together, Democrats. Get your life together. You're supposed to be a good American first and then partisan. Yeah. That's what you're missing.
I highly doubt Putin is going to take the bait on this. He's smarter than that. He knows he's got to wait 2 months for some new leadership that will be serious and try to walk us to a path to peace in this whole thing. But it's important that people realize this was their plan if Kamala Harris had won. Exactly. They would have escalated that thing, and we would have been in World War III in short order. That was their plan. That's why they want to, send America this parting gift of, an increased escalation, increase in the escalation tempo over in that part of the world. But I highly doubt Putin's going to take the bait on that.
I agree.
And then we see, Biden just announced that he's trying to expedite as much money as he can before he gets out of office to Ukraine. He's trying to expedite the remaining approved U.S. aid. So, these people don't care about Americans. That's their number one thing, to get as many illegals here and to ship as much money out as they can to foreign places. And as I think it was Ren who commented and said, it's just a way to funnel money through to these oligarchs and these people that they're supporters. So I totally agree with that.
Absolutely.
And then what do? They continue. They saw that this whole idea of woke policies, DEI, and all of that was totally shut out in the election, and they continue to do it.